And welcome again to the NFL on CBS from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Getting set for the Bengals and the Steelers. And Pittsburgh has won the toss and will take the football. Hello, Fritz, Jim Nance, along with Bill Sims. And we will again see the Pittsburgh Steelers offense out there first.
Yeah, I think they want to get out there and show everybody that that Monday night game against Kansas City, that's not us. And also, Jim, Nate Clements, starting corner for the Bengals out. I think that's a big deal, too. Maybe just added in another reason why the Steelers took the football, went in the coin flip.
Well, the weather is starting to cloud up here, and there is a chance we might have a little precipitation come second half, but we're in the 50s. It should be just fine as Nugent and the Bengals are ready to send it down the way to Emmanuel Sanders, who's the deep man there. They'll take it at the goal line. And it's Sanders net at the 17. Well covered by that Bengals special teams unit, and Taylor Mays on the tackle. Here's Roethlisberger, who went over 3,000 yards last week. Once again, what a incredible presence he's been in there, taking a lot of hits. In fact, he was sacked 5 times in the first matchup against the Bengals, tying a season high. Pouncey, with a recent stomach virus, has lost weight. The second-year man out of Florida, ready to go. And Wallace has been rather quiet for the last 4 games as Antonio Brown has become a big part of this offense and passing game. The Steelers have had opening drive touchdowns 5 of the last 7 games. In quite a stretch as they open up with Mendenhall taking it out to the 20 for a 3-yard gain. This Bengals defense is ranked 5th in the league total defense. Atkins is their leading sack man, and he's the top defensive interior lineman in terms of the sack category in the league. Howard coming over from the Raiders in the offseason. And Phil, you mentioned it. Clements is out. That means Pac-Man Jones again will be the starter at right corner. Clements is inactive. There was some concern about Crocker, but he's up and starting. That's a lateral. That was not a forward pass. Well covered as Mike Wallace is immediately met by Jones and a loss of 4.
Well, Jim, let's talk about what the Steelers are going to do on offense today and what the Bengals do on defense. The blitz from the right side. Don't jump, because once you leave your feet, Roethlisberger goes underneath you. The receivers are excellent at making adjustments down the field when Roethlisberger moves. Jericho Cotchery gets the touchdown.
Tomlin on the sideline for his 75th regular season game at Kansas City. His record with 51 wins, 24 losses, tying Bill Cowher for 51 wins to his first 75 games, and almost intercepted as the ball bounced off the hands of Antonio Brown, and Jabril Wilson was there.
Well, it did not look like a clean play. Top of your screen, both receivers, well, what it was, one's looking for the quick pass. Antonio Brown comes underneath. It's a good throw by Roethlisberger, just a drop by Antonio Brown.
So a 3 and out for the Steelers. Again, they had that stretch here of producing points on opening drives. And Cincinnati have been the second worst in the league at stopping opening drives, but they do it this time. This is Tate on the return, the former Patriot, taking the Capanos punt, the 59-yard punt, and a 14-yard run back. Greg Warren, the snapper, makes the tackle. Here is Andy Dalton, the rookie out of TCU. He has led them to fourth quarter comeback wins on 4 occasions, leaning on that leadership of that line, including Whitworth. Big time presence. Whitworth actually caught a touchdown here last year at the game at Heinz Field. And A.J. Green, again, the knee bruise suffered against the Steelers. He had to sit out the following week. He was back last week against Cleveland, making more big plays. They open the Bengals with a running play as well, and Benson is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. James Ferrier, the first to hit him. Pittsburgh's defense, second best in the league, total defense, and now starting to make plays in terms of takeaways over the last 2 weeks. Woodley returns today. He's been out the last 3 games with a hamstring injury. And again, Polamalu gets the start, even though he did suffer concussion-like symptoms last week in the game against Kansas City, coming out of that game. Andrew Hawkins on a wing to the right, and they fake it to Hawkins as Dalton has all kinds of time to throw it down the field, and it is snapped by A.J. Green at the 20-yard line. 43 yards, Dalton to Green, and that's the longest pass play to a wide receiver that Pittsburgh's allowed this year.
Well, Jim, they're going to fake the reverse. But watch A.J. Green as he goes down the field here. Watch the fake reverse, and the defense gets caught up. So, fake run, fake reverse. You're watching the defensive backs deep, and look at that move by A.J. Green. The speed going all the way across the field. That's the way to throw it and the way to run a play to get big yards down the field.
2 plays into the red zone at the Pittsburgh 19. And Benson slashes for 4. Before that throw to Green, the longest pass play to a receiver that Pittsburgh had allowed this year was 36 yards to Green in the first matchup.
Well, a couple things. We talked to Jay Gruden yesterday, and we asked him about A.J. Green. What do you think? Will the Steelers take him out of your game plan? And he said, look, we need him to catch big passes. You need quick scoring drives against the Steeler defense. They have a lot of good players. The longer you stay on the field, the better chance they have of making a play to get you off.
Benson wide to the right. On 2nd and 6, Dalton's pass caught at the first down marker by Gresham. Oh, it's a 1st and goal to go for the Bengals after the 7-yard play.
I think
a flag just came out in the end zone.
Well, you and I just got our first shot at A.J. Green in person running down the field, and not that we need to clarify, but he's fast.
Yeah. When you see it in person, it's a different thing.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Personal foul number 89 offense, personal foul number 24 defense. Those fouls offset. Result of the play, first down.
So Simpson and Taylor tangle, but it'll still be 1st and goal to go. Simpson trying to explain things.
You too, Jim. In the back of the end zone, they just get in the fight. Man-to-man coverage, so they just... It's a good call, called on both of them.
1st and goal to go. And Benson tries the right side and drives on in there backwards and gets about halfway home. 3 or 4 picked up on that play.
I think one of the big things in this game today, too, is when you talk about the Bengals, a young football team, the coaching staff has some changes, a rookie quarterback, we know that. But one thing they took out of the game a few weeks ago against the Steelers, that they found out we can compete against this football team. So that gave them confidence, and Marvin Lewis said this week in practice, we competed hard knowing we're playing one of the best teams in the NFL.
Dennis Rowland in as an extra lineman for the Bengals on 2nd and goal to the end zone, and Taylor able to seal that side and deny A.J. Green from getting anywhere near that one.
Well, most physical man at the line of scrimmage wins. Watch Ike Taylor. Oh, just gets his hands right on him, and A.J. Green will learn. You better do some moves at the line of scrimmage and fake them out and deceive them so you can go around them. You don't see that kind of defense in college football, that's for sure.
Last visiting team to score an opening drive touchdown in this stadium in regular season play was the Bengals a year ago. Well, they do it here on 3rd and goal. Brian Leonard is the running back. Touchdown Cincinnati with a flag. Gresham with the catch. He's not aware that there's a flag to be sorted out.
Snap, false start, number 18. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Well, that was a really good play design and a wonderful thought by the offense. Outside, A.J. Green in the slot. That little move right there, Ike Taylor saw it.
That little bobble takes the touchdown off the board. Sets the Bengals back near the 10, 3rd and goal. And Dalton back in the end zone, incomplete. We're back to Gresham. Polamalu was back there defending. So the touchdown taken away by penalty. And Nugent will come out for a field goal try.
Polamalu right there. All he's doing, he's trying to play in the middle of all the receivers, you're hard to deceive when you're in this type of situation on offense. And the Steelers, one of the best, playing that shell when they get you in favorable situations. Nowhere for Andy Dalton to throw the football.
It'll be a 28-yard field goal attempt by Mike Nugent, who's missed only once this season. 21 of 22. Only Dan Bailey of the Dallas Cowboys has a better percentage than his 95%. And Nugent with a flag down drives that one through.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
He'll have to try a 33-yarder now. So they back it up to the 15. The spot by Huber is at the 23. 33-yard kick from the right hash mark. Nugent blocked by the Steelers, and the Steelers come up with the play. That's their first block kick of the season. So they had a touchdown taken away by penalty. Then they had a field goal taken away by penalty. And it's Worlds who makes the block. And that's the man who blocked it. Is actually Cameron Hayward, the rookie first rounder out of Ohio State. Blocking the Nugent kick from 33 yards, and the Steelers take over at the 18.
Block here.
Roethlisberger completes the short throw to Heath Miller for 5.
Penetration right in the middle of your screen. You can see Cameron Hayward make the block, Jim, and you think, well, what's it going to feel like if your hand hits one of these kicks? Wow, it's going to hurt. But just you win at the point of attack. So he anticipated the snap. He got off the football very fast. It gave him the penetration, and he got that big hand up to knock it down.
The son of Craig Ironhead Hayward, the late running back in Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh great. Cameron Hayward with the block, and here's Mendenhall with the first down out to the 30. Gain of 7. What's going on with the Jets and the Redskins? JP has the update.
Well, it's a good start for the Redskins, Jim. On their first series, they go 8 plays, 82 yards, capped off by Roy Halou, a 2-yard touchdown run. Redskins are up early in this game, 7-0. Skins trying to snap a 3-game losing streak at home, back to Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
Now the rookie running back is coming on, and he gets the touchdown for the Skins early in that game. And a first down for the Steelers after the carry by Mendenhall. From the 29, he fed to him. Good piece of blocking that time by Foster, and the ball is, no, it's incomplete. Pac-Man Jones jarred it loose, and Maualuga almost was able to make the interception off the deflection.
When you're going across the field, Mike Wallace, when you know nobody's following you and you can feel there's space, look out ahead. And that is a good job by Pac-Man Jones. His guy is gone. He looks across the field. He's looking for somebody to pick up in pass coverage and jars that football loose. Going to see a little more zone coverage from the Bengals with their 2 starting corners out today.
No challenge flag by the Bengals about that possibly being a fumble, and a catch then a fumble. And a handoff here to Mendenhall for a short gain. Give him a yard. Got a sports fan on your list? CBSSports.com shop has officially licensed NFL gear and 3-day shipping on every order at shop.cbssports.com.
You know, Jim, Mike Zimmer, defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. We know Nate Clements is out. They lost Leon Hall for the year with an injury. Everybody's going, oh, poor Mike. And he said to his team, hey, guys,
we're going to middle it.
CBS is still going to televise the game.
Yeah.
So we better be ready to play. So no excuses. Great way to, a good message you give your football team.
A little Parcells-like in that philosophy. 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. Roethlisberger incomplete. He had a Bengal draped all over him. Intended for Antonio Brown.
Well, even the pocket gets too tight sometimes for Ben Roethlisberger. You're playing quarterback. Look what they've done, too. They have somebody in the middle of the field waiting to see if he runs out like a spy, but they just compressed it. They didn't let him run right or left, so he has to throw the football away.
Panos Lefty not catching that one fully. At the 30, it's Tate. Got a flag down. And a second one as well. Going to bring a chunk of this back after a 39-yard boot, 17-yard run back.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 45 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, timeout on the field.
Cincy with some early miscues, costly penalties at the beginning. No score, first quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
And beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, and the roars can be felt all the way across the river here to Heinz Field in second possession of the game. For the Bengals, who failed to produce points in the red zone the first time they had it. Jim Nance and Phil Simms here in Pittsburgh, and it's Benson again smashed at the line for just a 1-yard gain. It was Kiesel on the tackle.
Well, Jim, the last drive, the Steelers, you saw the flinch. A.J. Green, delay a game.
Offense.
And then, of course, the block by Cameron Hayward. So that was a lot of mistakes by some young guys in that drive. Bengals off to a terrific start. You could see their energy and their confidence early. You need to be rewarded when you do this by scoring some points.
It's Benson again. He was over 100 last week against Cleveland. Had 106 yards and a touchdown. He adds 3 to the total this time. Again, it's Kiesel on the hit.
Well, it's Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Let's remember now today, Lamar Woodley is back, their best pass rusher. The linebacker core, the team is built around it. Cedric Benson's not happy about it because, boy, it makes it tougher to run. But everybody's back in position on the Steeler defense.
And they're happy to have Woodley back in there today after missing the last 3. 3rd and 6. Dalton gets the time, has the target, and is Green for the first down. No, it's Hawkins. And how about this kid, Hawkins? When we talked to Mike Tomlin this week, he said, this is the guy no one talks about.
Yeah, I said, well, how about, he goes, oh, you mean 16? I didn't even know who he was the first time we played, but I went back after the game. He had 5 catches against the Steelers defense. He goes, I looked him up. He goes, you can bet we're going to be a little more ready for him this time around.
He caught 5 balls against him in that first matchup on November 13th.
I think he's a really good inside receiver in passing situations, Jim. Very quick, can come out of cuts fast.
So first down Bengals. And that is Benson getting through a seam, and Polamalu has to trip him up in the secondary. That was Green who threw the block out there to free him up for 14.
Now, Cedric Benson, watching him warm up today, some questions, would he be ready? What a job by Andre Smith. Double team and getting off the block. You said it, A.J. Green helping out, and Cedric Benson looks fast, healthy, and fresh. James Ferrier gets pushed out of position. Polamalu playing deep safety so far in this game, not near the line of scrimmage. Good job of stopping the run from being long.
First down at the Steelers, 42. A little play action, and Dalton's going long down the field and throws it away. It's in the area of Simpson with William Gay on the coverage. You noticed at practice on Friday that Polamalu was laying back in practice.
Look where he is, Jim, and that is deep. He is truly the safety when you look at these plays, and it's a good job by Gay on the outside. Look at A.J. Green breaking out, but he runs into the defender. Good coverage, good techniques, and Troy Polamalu, except here in this down, he's up. He has been back deeper today than I've seen him in most games.
2nd and 10. And they go back to Benson, takes it to the 40. Flag down, gain of 2. Jason Worlds came in for that last snap, number 93 in for Woodley.
Well, Jason Worlds
Holding. Number 64, offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
It's on the center, Kyle Cook.
You know, Jim, you talk about Jason Worlds, and he played a lot when Lamar Woodley was out. And it was so funny watching, not funny, but it just a tribute to the other linebackers. He came in, did very well, but he mimics the other guys. It's like, well, he's watched greatness in front of him.
Right.
Why wouldn't you want to be one of those guys? And, you know, Mike Tomlin said it. He's earned some playing time, so they'll shift those linebackers around and make sure Jason Worlds gets in there.
Why not take the best of the likes of Harrison and Woodley and others? Ferrier and Cook, and that's incomplete on second down. Pogomalo in there on the coverage, and Gresham was the target. Well, before Marvin Lewis was the head coach at Cincinnati, Dick LeBeau was the head coach of the Bengals. A longtime Steeler defensive coordinator. His team and that defensive unit starting to make plays. There he is in his days as the coach of the Bengals for 3 seasons.
Yeah, and he's last few weeks been showing a few new defenses to the NFL, saying you haven't seen it all yet.
3rd and 20. They've been getting takeaways, which weren't there earlier in the year. It's Leonard. And Leonard will not get it into field goal range. He's driven back at the 45 of the Steelers by Harrison and others. Gain of 7.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. 3rd and really long. They're going to make you throw the football short. Look at the deep drop, but watch the athletes and the speeds. Oh my gosh, there's 5 of them. I don't care how quick and how you going to do. Well, James Harrison, all these guys. When you play defense for the Steelers, your first order of business, you better be a good tackler.
Huber into punt. Kevin Huber with Antonio Brown standing at the 10-yard line. This one some serious hang time, and it draws the fair catch at the 12. 33-yard punt. 1 first down picked up in 2 series so far by Ben and company. They're coming back out. He's here with his father, Vincent, taking in the game. They are, of course, Pittsburgh family. And Coach Cal loving the chance to share the afternoon with his dad. Big win, Kentucky beating Carolina by 1. Let's roll down to Rupp Arena. Here it is, 1st and 10. And Roethlisberger finds Ward. And stiff arm by Hines takes it out of bounds near the 19.
Well, it's really interesting when you watch the Steelers run some of these plays. They bring in 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, and what they're trying to do is they want the Bengals to think run, so the Bengals bring in their big defensive linemen who are not noted to rush the passer, and it helps Ben Roethlisberger. Bruce Arians, that's what you got to do. It's all about deception. I say it all the time. Bring in big guys, throw the football. Sometimes you spread them out so you can run it.
There's Coach Arians, offensive coordinator. That last play picked up 5. Second down here for the Steelers. And a handoff to Redmond. And he carries a couple of Bengals with him, powering ahead for the first down.
I guess if you said anything about this Steelers offense, one, you know, we saw the performance on Monday night against Kansas City. They were mad this week in practice. Here we go. You're the offensive line. Just what good work inside. Doug Legursky, he really helps it by double teaming the nose guard and pushing it down. Gives some running room.
Legursky starting at left guard today again for Kemoyeatu.
Max Starks, he just gets run over. He had tripped on one of his own guys. That doesn't stop. The pile kept moving.
Went for 7 yards, longest play of the game so far for the Steelers. Their 2nd first down collected. And Roethlisberger has all kinds of time to get the pass play out to the 40 to Wesley Saunders, who caught the touchdown, the only touchdown of the game last week for the Steelers against Kansas City. Picks up 14.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger noticed right away, you're going to double my wide receiver, so I'm going to throw to the tight end. Boy, look at that nice high release. Gets over the top of it. When you see a quarterback with that good a form, that football usually is right on target. And they are excited about this tight end. Used to be a receiver in college, wide receiver. Saunders, and he can get it done down the field. His
first career touchdown, that touchdown against the Chiefs. He's out of South Carolina, University of South Carolina. And Moalago is there for the tackle of Mendenhall for no gain, maybe a yard. Alaluga has made some plays already in this game.
Well, he's at the position he wants to be in, middle linebacker. Mike Zimmer says he's so conscientious. Even when he plays a decent game, he'll get a text going, "Coach, I don't know why you play me. I don't deserve to play." Well, you know, he wants him to play with more confidence, but it just shows you how conscientious he is and how good he wants to be.
Third-year man out of USC.
Black 20.
Steelers with a minute to go, inside of a minute to go first quarter. Have 2nd and 9 at the 40. As Ben stands up and connects with Brown, who slashes to some freedom inside the 20. And down at the 15, caught it on the run, made one nifty move that was worth at least another 20. It's a 40-yard play, his longest reception of the season.
Don't let Ben Roethlisberger watch the pocket. It's a little cross by the defensive tackles. It opens up a lane for Roethlisberger to see, move into. And how about Antonio Brown? You said it, Jim. This guy he's going to fight Mike Wallace, who's going to be the #1 receiver on this team.
Yeah, he's coming on. That was actually 45 yards for Brown. As the quarter comes to an end, we'll start the second with the Steelers at the 15. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by the 2011 Ford F-150, built Ford tough.
Some of the pre-game activities here at Heinz Field. Starting the second quarter.
Some yellow flags on those.
Did you see a little illegal contact down the field?
Saw a lot.
Jim Nance, Phil Simms. Steelers driving. First down at the 15. After Brown's career long, it's Redmond to the 6. Running behind Legursky for 9.
I think one thing when you look at this Steelers offense, they just got to get better at running the football. We've talked so much about, of course, Roethlisberger. We talk about the wide receivers, but you have to have that threat as a run. And when the Bengals, well, we even said today, we're going to invite them to run it because they're worried about their secondary because of the injuries. Well, when teams invite you, you got to take advantage of that.
That last play was their first snap of the game in Cincinnati territory. Now it's 2nd and 1 at the 7. It's Redmond. With Miller in there trying to push him forward and a couple of Bengals trying to push him back, including Frosty Rucker. Andy Dalton and the Bengals advancing it to the Steelers side of the field twice in that first quarter, including inside the 10, but failed to come up with any points.
Yeah, you know, you just looking at him there, you just go, wow, does he know this is in the NFL and how hard it is? He's pretty relaxed. That's what the #1 thing that comes out from Jay Gruden and everybody is that how poised Andy Dalton has been so far this year.
Now Aluga comes out. That run by Redmond picked up the first. 1st and goal to go. And that is Redmond for a gain of 2. But the last time Cincinnati allowed the Steelers to score a touchdown here at Heinz Field was back in 08. Roethlisberger's 8-yard run for the touchdown. It's been 2 games since Pittsburgh last scored an offensive touchdown against Cincinnati at home.
Well, you can tell just looking at this defense, Jim, the Cincinnati Bengals, they have a lot of good, solid defensive linemen. So they're tough up front.
Mendenhall back in on 2nd and goal, and he gets the call. Mendenhall's in for the touchdown. He scored twice against the Bengals in the first matchup. He's got another one here from 3 yards out.
Well, it's a pushing contest inside right now as you watch this Steeler offense, and that offensive line is winning the battle, Jim, as you watch it inside. That's about 3 or 4 times we've seen just a mush. Everybody gets together. The Steelers move the pile forward, and they're getting some good little runs out of it.
Mendenhall's 7th touchdown of the season. Now 3 of them, 3 of the 7 coming against Cincinnati. Extra point. Squeezer makes it 7-0. Redmond did a lot of the work. Brown had the big play. Mendenhall finished it off. It's 7-0 Steelers, second quarter.
Watching the NFL on CBS.
Pittsburgh completes the 87-yard drive for the game's first touchdown. Oddly enough, in the last 7 matchups at Heinz Field between these two teams, the team that scored first lost the game.
Regional kickoff. Need to receive. Tate.
And that is Tate back to the end zone. They come up the field at a yard deep. And Tate has it out to the 23. Curtis Brown, the rookie, with the tackle. Dalton and the Bengals are down 7. The Bengals come to the line of scrimmage, down 7-0. Bernard Scott is the running back, spelling Benson. Dalton's pass is knocked out of the hands of Green by Ike Taylor. And you talked to the Bengals this week, they thought they might get the better of that matchup between those two, Green and Taylor.
Well, I think anytime the Bengals, they're going to look at it this way. Ike Taylor being physical, that's the one thing that A.J. Green said about him. Yeah, he's a veteran. He's tough. We said it already, the most physical wins. But A.J. Green is the man. If you're going to single him up, you got to take advantage of it.
So to the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Quick toss again through the hands. That was Bernard Scott who was unable to grab that one. We've got an update. Let's go back to the studio in New York.
Continued inspired play by Denver. Well, defense loves playing against a rookie quarterback, especially Christian Potter here, who stares down his intended receiver. Mario Hagan picks it off, returns it 16 yards. Denver's up 7-5 over Minnesota.
All right, let's take it back to Jim Nantz and Phil Sims.
All right, guys, that is some defense. John Fox and the Broncos. What a season, 6-5. Oakland playing at Miami today in that Wild West. 3rd and 10 here. Lamar Woodley, by the way, is still out. He's on the sideline with his helmet off. As Dalton's in trouble, and Dalton able to avoid the sack, picks up a yard as Ziggy Hood chases him down, forcing the punt.
Good job. They squeezed the pocket. Look at this blitz. They got everybody up here, so it confuses the offensive line. And, of course, this would be confusing to a rookie quarterback. The late run-through by Kiesel makes Andy Dalton step up. They are ready to make the tackle. Good disguise or good blitz by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hubert coming back out. For the second time. This one. Fair catch at the 34. 41-yard punts. Ziggy Hood celebrates the stop. And the ball goes back to the Steelers, up 7-0. Mike Tomlin comes over. Congratulates Ziggy Hood and that defense, which forced a 3 and out.
Black 20. Alert the angle, y'all.
Right on the heels
Black 20.
of Pittsburgh taking it 87 yards on a drive the previous time for a touchdown. And Roethlisberger's going to the big ball. Looking for Wallace. And there's going to be a flag at the 15-yard line. Buck Crocker.
Pass interference. Number 42, defense, automatic, first down.
Well, what a job. Roethlisberger stopped there initially. Look at the movement in the pocket. We've talked about the thumb. He's got a little fracture at the base of it. But down the field, Chris Crocker was really in excellent position chasing Wallace. But since the throw was behind him, Jim, when he turns, that's where the interference goes. That's a tough call. Look, it's getting to the point, you're a defensive back. Don't touch the wide receiver.
There's a 45-yard penalty.
Black
Go
20.
with a 45-yard earlier play to Antonio Brown to set up the first touchdown. Mendenhall gets free. Mendenhall's down to the 5, a gain of 15. First and goal to go.
To the 5. And that's another Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, right up inside again. And Doug Legursky pulling. Oh, he gets the block on Maluga. And that just gives a big running lane for Rashard Mendenhall. We say it so many times about him, Jim, but he really encompasses all as a running back. Speed, can catch it, can block, and can run with power. Very unique style, even for the NFL.
3 tight ends come in. First and goal. Mendenhall out of the backfield and able to squeeze out. Almost got it for a yard. We'll call it no gain. Could have been a loss of a couple.
Well, we got 3 tight ends in there and 1 wide receiver. And the Bengals said, well, we'd like for them to throw some in situations. You can see what they're going to do. They're running right at you.
They go from a 3 tight end formation on the previous play to 3 receivers. Saunders, Wallace, and Brown.
They're going to make you think, that's for sure, on the defensive side.
Second and goal. It is Mendenhall. Mendenhall cuts back for the touchdown. Mendenhall got away from Maualuga, and he has his 2nd touchdown of the game.
It's a fast defense, the Bengals. Sometimes they over-pursue. And this is an example. They diagnosed the play. Watch Maualuga get to the outside. Oh, we got him. And what a cutback. And everybody keeps blocking on the offensive line. Gilbert, the right tackle, stayed with it and then allowed the cutback for the touchdown.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns for Mendenhall in a little more than 5 quarters of action this year. Sweezum makes it 14-0. Mendenhall's wondering, why can't we play the Bengals every week? Impressive series by the running back. He's got his 2nd touchdown in 2.5 minutes.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Autotrader.com. Now compare new and used cars side by side at Autotrader.com. And by the Droid Razor by Motorola. Droid strong, razor sharp.
Well, you're Cincinnati. Big divisional game. You're on the road. As you see Mays getting 10-2 on the Cincinnati bench. And then you're down 14. It takes you out of your game plan just 5 minutes into the 2nd quarter. Tate elects to bring this one out. Oh, he bobbled it. Ball's free. Ball is on the ground. Stevenson Sylvester was the one who first may have forced the fumble. Back to Pittsburgh. Steelers recover. Brandon Tate's fumble. He was trying to regain control of it. Sylvester was the first one who knocked it loose. And here are the Steelers who only had a few takeaways through the first 9 games of the season, had 6 over the last 2 weeks. And it's Sanders with the recovery. Had 4 takeaways in the first 9 games, and now that's 7 over the last 2 games and a quarter.
Oh, that's Stevenson. Sylvester just running so fast, he hits that arm. That's what kicks it out away from Tate. He had the ball, the tip, it was to his body, secured to the bicep, it looked good. But good hustle. And how about that? Emmanuel Sanders, wide receiver, on the recovery.
At the bottom of the pile. Sanders with the recovery, and the Steelers at the 23-yard line. It's Redmond. And a gain of 3. Thursday on CBS, the next person these 2 heroes must protect is the one person who can blow their cover. Person of interest, new episode, Thursday, only CBS.
I'll tell you, you watch the Steeler offense, they are really featuring 3 tight ends. You think, okay, we got it, and now they come in with 3 wide receivers. So mixing it up But going back to old-style Steeler football. Most powerful teams so far today, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, they got a double reverse. Roethlisberger throws the block for Brown, who takes it to the 12. Ben actually made a difference with the block. Gain of 10 and a first.
Well, a couple things to watch. Let's just watch as they come across. It's going to go to Mike Wallace, and it's going to come back. And then watch number 7. Look at the defense down the field. Ben Roethlisberger seals the edge and allows Antonio Brown to go flying up inside.
And Brandon Tate is back there, number 19, the one who fumbled it, set up the Steelers with a chance to go in again. Roethlisberger rolls out, goes to the end zone, has his man, touchdown Pittsburgh, Mike Wallace. 3 touchdowns in a 4-minute and 14-second span.
Yeah, this was so well orchestrated. Nice fake by Roethlisberger. They fake like everybody wants to throw it over the middle in those situations, Jim. And Wallace goes over the middle, then breaks back outside, and he is wide open the whole time. Took a while for Roethlisberger finally to see him.
Kelly Jennings nowhere near him. 7th touchdown of the season for Wallace. And again, in just a little more than 4 minutes, it's 21-0. We had a scoreless first quarter, but now Pittsburgh pouring it on, 21-zip. Just took 3 plays to take advantage of the fumble recovery by Emmanuel Sanders, who had missed a couple of games recently after knee surgery, returned last week. And Wallace and Roethlisberger talking it over, the touchdown hookup. Let's see what Tate does this time. And he fails to make it to the 20. That's Worlds who brings him down. Roethlisberger with his 18th touchdown pass of the season. It's Wallace on the other end.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sears. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
And the Pittsburgh Sports Museum, Western Pennsylvania, Hall of Fame, plenty of reasons to visit that. 1st and 10 for the Bengals. Trying to settle things down with a little toss for 5 yards to Green. They have had all kinds of mistakes, including that touchdown that was taken away because of that little bobble. Then the field goal taken away because delay a game. And then the interference penalty, 45-yarder to set up a touchdown, and a fumble to set up another one. So all kinds of mistakes adding up to 21-0.
And a motivated Steeler team, because remember, they lost Monday night to Kansas City. And I know they didn't, but they think they did. That's how they reacted in practice, and that's how they were treated by the press. So they had a little edge in practice, and it's showing in this game.
And as Benson fighting for the first down, and he's right at the yardage. I believe he has it. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Michael Bublé. #1 Christmas album in the country belongs to him. And an inspiring success story to go along with it. To get a preview right now, simply call *60. That's *60 from your mobile phone. Andre Smith is injured on that last play that picked up a first down. We'll be right back to Pittsburgh. Andre Smith, the former #1 pick for the Bengals out of Alabama, hobbled to the bench. Anthony Collins will come in for him. Benson was able to pick up the first down right at the 30, mid-second quarter. They've struggled as a team all season long in the second quarter, been outscored by 80 on the season. Great fake by Dalton. Slides over to get freedom and throws. And it is caught by Gresham. The second-year man out of Oklahoma with a beautiful grab and a gain of 20.
Steelers were all over the play. Watch Ryan Clark, number 25, sees Gresham coming across the field. He wants to make the play, but there's nowhere to go because Big 84 just stays right in the way. Nice job of going up, getting the catch, and holding on to it. Look at that, gets his fingers around the tip of the ball.
He was their first-round pick a year ago. He's getting better by the week. Ball at the 50. And a good running lane for Benson. Running behind the newly inserted Anthony Collins for 8.
Well, not only that, the Bengals love bringing in an extra lineman, and they use it on the protection for play-action passes. They have some unbalanced lines. They do a little bit of everything, and that's what you want to do. Well, of course, for your offense, but even more so when you have a rookie quarterback. Keep the defense guessing. Keep moving the quarterback around a little bit. And also helps if you got the heaviest and biggest offensive line in the NFL.
We're hearing Woodley questionable return. He's tweaked that hamstring in the round, and Green has plenty of room. Takes it out of bounds at the 28, gain of 14. So Woodley, who had been out for 3 with a hamstring, tweaked it and questionable to return.
Watch, nobody. James Harrison gets caught inside. There is nobody on the Steeler defense to the outside. Very seldom do you see that happen. They play a lot of zone. They're always looking in the backfield. They usually don't over-pursue. But that time, James Harrison, he's caught looking inside.
James Harrison back in the weight room, able to work out, getting close to a full return. First and 10. And that is out of bounds. Word on Andre Smith, it's a right ankle injury, questionable to return. It's a great example, even though it's incomplete. You know, talking to Dalton this week, he said, anytime I throw it near A.J. Green, I know he's going to come down with it. Just throw it in his area, he's going to grab it.
No question, Jim. I'm a believer already. Look at him. A.J. Green, he's so tall, and he attacks the football. I saw this when he was at Georgia, and he just brings it right to the NFL. You see it with so many receivers in the NFL just like him. You see Johnson in Detroit. Hey, Johnson down in Houston. When in doubt, throw it up.
Timeout called by Dalton and the Bengals. Play clock was running out on them. They're down 21-0. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower. All the scores and highlights coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Big time series right here from Marvin Lewis and the Bengals. Second and 10 from the Pittsburgh 27. And Dalton drew that in the area of Simpson. James Harrison dropped back in the coverage on that play.
You said the proper thing. James Harrison dropping back. That look before is when they sacked Andy Dalton. So this time, he's going, well, they got a blitz. They fake it. Watch number 92. Gets right underneath the curl route, and Andy Dalton does a wise thing. Throw it away.
Third and 10, here comes the blitz. Picked up, Dalton has the first down. As Green has another grab right in front of Ike Taylor for 14.
James Harrison on the blitz, tried to time it, good job, but they are ready for it. That is good blocking inside. It's single coverage to the outside. Nice job by Andy Dalton, knowing where he can go, who's not double covered, nobody helping him out, and Ike Taylor slips. That's all A.J. Green needed.
Second time today, Cincinnati in the red zone. Blocked field goal. First time they had it today. And that's Benson. Work in the middle for a couple. Polamalu, he played so much near the line of scrimmage in their first matchup.
And look at the Steelers at the last second. They do the switching. Troy Polamalu free from the outside, not making the play. A little careful that time.
That's the way you would term it, too, in practice when you saw him on Friday.
Well, yeah, in Friday's practice, I saw him deep almost the whole day. But as this game's going along, Jim, he's sneaking up there more and more because that's where he's at his best, when he's near the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 8, and Dalton looks in zone bound, and he's got his man there. Touchdown! Touchdown, A.J. Green. 11-yard connection between the two rookies.
What an adjustment by A.J. Green. He's going across the field. There's nothing there. The initial coverage has it. He stops. He sees Andy Dalton move out of the pocket. He goes back to the left. And Andy Dalton, nice. The one thing I've noticed when you watch him, he's not afraid to run to his left and throw the football.
A.J. Green was able to shake off Ike Taylor at first. Timmons trying to jump into that area. It was just a little too late as Dalton zips it in there for the Bengals' first points. Irvin Lewis says that A.J. Green's the best first rounder I have ever seen. And Dalton now has 17 touchdown passes, which matches Ben Roethlisberger's rookie total of 17.
Well, Jim, you're seeing Andy Dalton, what he does in this play. Here's A.J. Green, top of the screen. He's going to go across. He's covered. He breaks back out, and that is just too hard for Ike Taylor to stay with him. As you look down the field, there's really nobody that's going to be open, but the adjustment by A.J. Green and the nice throw by Andy Dalton gets a touchdown. I'll tell you the one thing, Andy Dalton, do like his throwing motion. It's going to stand the test of time, a lot like Ben Roethlisberger's. And, you know, Jim, when it's almost like when you do golf. When you see a real smooth, rhythmic golf swing, you go, well, that's going to last for a lot of years. And the same with quarterbacks. Man, that was an excellent job of getting through the football and driving it when he needs to.
How about these two? Dalton, 24 years old. Green is 23. They've now connected on 6 touchdown passes, Dalton to Green on the season. A 10-play drive and one they had to have. You go all the way back to 1950. The only rookie-to-rookie combinations for more touchdowns. Plunkett to Vataha.
Wow.
Tim Couch to Kevin Johnson. And Tony Banks to Eddie Kinnison.
Of course, that was Plunkett's college teammate.
That's right. The Rabbit from Stanford. And on second thought, Sanders will take a knee. Tonight on CBS, 4 teams remain, only 2 episodes to go. All new. Amazing Race tonight, only CBS.
You know, the last thing you talk about that combination, Andy Dalton to A.J. Green, and as I watch Andy Dalton, I got to tell you, I'm more impressed even as a pro than I was when he played college football. And as I watch him throw, there's no doubt in my mind as time goes on, he's going to be more powerful. He's going to even throw it harder. So the Bengals, they've done a tremendous job bringing a rookie quarterback along. The whole organization bought in, and they're making it work.
Ben with pressure, and he is sacked. Pecco has him for the first sack of the game by the Bengals.
Always keep somebody in the middle of the field as a defensive lineman when you're trying to stop Ben Roethlisberger, because he likes to move up and then move out. You said it. Pecco right there to take advantage of it and get a sack.
Again, the Cincinnati defense got him 5 times in their matchup 3 weeks ago, which matched the most by an opponent. Houston also had him 5 times. Timeout called here by the Steelers. Pittsburgh eventually won this game 24-17. There's Pecco and Lawson combining on one. Gathers had another. Atkins got into the mix. Frosty Rucker. And then Michael Johnson, Robert Gathers as well. 5 times total.
You know, of course, sometimes sacks can be overrated. And the big thing with Ben Roethlisberger, he's a mobile quarterback. He shakes off tackles. He's going to take more sacks than most most guys out there, but it's worth it. The trade-off, when he does move, gets that extra time, he is, he's devastating throwing the football down the field in those situations.
Hey, no. Hey, 59, middle.
What the Bengals talked about.
Middle.
Keep him in the pocket. Don't jump.
And 2nd and 15. Wide open target at the 27. It's Hines Ward. And his second reception of the game, good for 12.
Hines Ward territory right in front of the quarterback. Crowd gets excited too when he catches the pass. He's not always in there now.
That put Hines over 12,000 yards on his career. Did you notice he got up, tossed the ball over to the sideline because he wanted a keepsake for yet another milestone in his remarkable career.
It's a good defense the Steelers are going against today, but at home, they like it here.
And Cincinnati force the 3 and out. 3rd and 3. No, it's Sanders with the catch. Cracker swings him down, but the 6 yards picks up the first.
Well, this is it, the situation. One-on-one coverage. Roethlisberger to catch and throw it. And how about the receiving core? They got a problem here in Pittsburgh. How do you keep everybody happy and involved? Well, so far they've done a good job.
And they did all of this without talking about first-round picks. As Roethlisberger trying to shake off the sack, but unable to get away from Michael Johnson, who was implored by Mike Zimmer to have a big game today.
He said, if we're going to win the game, 93, set in front of the team. Wow, what a little dip there against Max Starks. And he says, you must play very well. I thought he gave Starks a lot of problems in Cincinnati. Carrying it on here today after that rush.
Approaching the 2-minute warning, 2nd and 18, incomplete to Meweldy Moore. So 3rd and long coming up.
We talked about it, the Steelers so much better. Boy, look at that, most in team history. More than Terry Bradshaw. He can move around himself, Terry Bradshaw. He was pretty tough, but Ben Roethlisberger talked about being at home here. The crowd noise, it helps his tackles. It's a grass field, so it slows it down just enough. And, even thinking back to my days, I loved playing on grass fields. It just seemed easier to throw to wide receivers running down the field.
Got to get out to the 43 for a first and a flag. It's going to be 5 against the Steelers. Looks like Brown moved first.
False start, number 88. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
First Pittsburgh penalty. It's actually, they call it on Sanders.
Yeah, he moved forward as he was going along. Or flinched, I should say. Jim, this is big right here. You're the Bengals. Look at this long situation. Stop them. Don't give up cheap yards here. Get some field position. 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. Chance to score some more points before halftime. And you get the football at the start of the second half.
Showing blitz. Crocker is supposed to be lined up on offsides, and they go draw with Moore. And we come to the 2-minute warning. Pittsburgh will be punting coming out of the break. Mays and Johnson on the tackle. 21-7. Jim Nance, Bill Sims here, and we're going to be sending it to James Brown in the studio with the Sprint halftime report coming up shortly as we come out of the 2-minute warning. All the scores and highlights coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Campanos into punt. He caught this one. Sends Tate back to the 10. Oh, nice job. Getting right to his feet to make the play was Curtis Brown, a second special teams tackle of the game for Brown. A 57-yard punt and only a 3-yard run back as the 3rd-round pick out of Texas gets up on his feet and makes the play.
Yeah, really, what a turnaround. And you're thinking the Bengals, hey, we'll get some field position here. But Curtis Brown, oh, man, I'll tell you, Brandon Tate better start securing that football. It almost came out again. Curtis Brown making a couple plays, like you said, Jim.
Yeah. Sends the Bengals back to the 13-yard line with 1:48 to play in the half. 2 timeouts to operate with. And that was intended for Hawkins. Here's Dalton, who was a second-round pick, 35th selection overall, had 35 in the draft. He was the 5th quarterback taken. Now you go back to another quarterback. Speaking of the Sprint halftime report, our own Boomer Esiason was taken in the 2nd round back in 1984, but he was the 38th pick, and that was actually the first quarterback taken was Boomer that year.
Yeah, but you know what? He's still mad about that 2nd round draft pick, so he just ruined his halftime.
Went on to throw for 27,000 plus yards across the middle. Gresham, incomplete. Incomplete, knocked loose by Polamalu.
Well, Troy Polamalu, you watch the last few weeks, has been just so fast and makes so many plays, but how quick are the reactions? They are great, and strips of football, the Steelers today, their hands, they are making plays. Strip it, hit it. And that was not a catch. Now it's turning around the other way, Jim. Minute 39.
Yeah.
Steelers have the timeouts. They're thinking, shoot, we got a chance to get some more points.
And a flag's thrown. And it's going to be 5 against the Bengals this time.
False start, number 77, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Could be a very short series for Cincinnati.
Well, they did the right thing, the Bengals, when they came out. They threw a short pass. You know, there's 2 things when you're backed up at the end of the first half, Jim, is, yeah, of course you want to move it, but you have to watch the clock and manage it at the same time. So 2 incomplete passes favored the Steelers, of course, greatly.
From the goal line, look out. Kiesel chasing him, and the pass incomplete. In the area of Simpson, but Kiesel was thinking safety.
Brett Kiesel, 99, left of the screen, coming around. Oh, they confused the blocking assignments. Nate Livings has him and pushes him off, but there's nobody there. Boy, the big guy can still run, can he? You'd think that beard would weigh him down
Yeah.
a little bit, but it didn't.
Clark Harris to snap it to Huber as the Bengals kept the football for only 25 seconds.
What a turnaround, huh? Good punt, good special teams.
Antonio Brown is near midfield. No pressure put on the punter, who sends a spiral to the 40-yard line, and a little stutter step move, and Brown's got room outside. He's got the punter in front of him, and Brown's going to get right past him, and Brown's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. 60 yards, and Bryant McFadden helped make it happen. He came in 4th in the AFC in punt return yardage, or average.
Let's go.
His first career punt return touchdown. After a 52-yard punt, a 60-yard run back, and now a 28-point quarter by the Steelers.
First off, beautiful punt down the field. And when you watch the blocks, Curtis Brown, that could have been, I thought they were going to throw the flag, but they let it go. And Antonio Brown, the speed, shifty, in space, he is tough. Here it is. Brown against Hawkins. That's behind it.
Yes, it was.
Yes. That was a pass down the field. It had been pass interference, but so the Steelers get away with one, and their special teams today has got to be one of their best performances of the year. Man, that's...
I tell you, how about what Roethlisberger was telling us this week about Brown? How he's always in his ear. This time it's been in his ear.
Yeah, he's a gnat.
Always coming over and saying, hey, what about this? What about that? The last time the Steelers had a punt return for a touchdown was back in 2006 against Carolina, and it was Santonio Holmes. 65 yards with the run back. Entering today, it had been 77 games since Pittsburgh had returned a punt for a touchdown.
Well, you talk about Antonio Brown. What did Mike Tomlin say? Hardest worker on the team. If we took a poll of all the players, he goes, it'd be overwhelmingly in his favor. That's how hard he works. Friday, we watched practice. What was Antonio Brown doing after practice? He had a coach standing next to him, like pushing him as the assistant strength coach is throwing football passes at him. And he stood out there, Jim, for 30 minutes and caught passes after practice was over.
Tomlin found him at Central Michigan when he was there scouting a quarterback, Brown's college quarterback, Dan Lefevre.
That's right. Who was with the Bengals last year.
What a crushing sequence, though, for the Bengals. Their defense comes up with the stop. Have a chance to operate in the last 2 minutes. Your offense has taken it down the field the last time, but you've been 3 and out. It leads to a punt return touchdown. And Tate, again, only out to the 19-yard line. Next Saturday, college football in its purest form. Army and Navy. Saturday at 2:30. All the guts, grit, and glory. It all begins with college football today. Next weekend on CBS. Truly a game of honor.
Yes, it is. I'm excited to see it. See the game. Of course, I want to see the special they're going to have on Showtime about it, too.
Yep.
You get the football in the second half. Be extremely careful here in this drive.
Look out, Dalton. Harrison able to blindside him for the sack. And a loss of 6.
The crowd's in a frenzy. Just tough. Oh, you got Jermaine Gresham trying to block James Harrison with the crowd noise. That is almost impossible, especially when you're near the line of scrimmage trying to do it. The Bengals, if I was them, I would run it and get into halftime.
And again, the second quarter has been problematic for the Bengals all year. 2nd and 16. Set up screen to Leonard. Tripped up and a loss. Timmons makes the play this time.
Well, when you watch his first half, the Steelers look like like they're back to being healthy, and they've answered a lot of questions, that's for sure. Just with their play in all 3 phases, defense, offense, and the special teams might be the biggest story of the game so far.
After a scoreless first quarter, things open up big time for Pittsburgh in quarter number 2. 2 Mendenhall touchdown runs. A Roethlisberger touchdown pass to Wallace. And then the 60-yard punt return by Antonio Brown. 28-7 at halftime. Sprint halftime report coming up after this message and a word from your local station. Mendenhall cuts back for the touchdown. And he has his 2nd touchdown of the game. Touchdown Pittsburgh, Mike Wallace. 28 points in that second quarter. That's the most points scored in a quarter by the Steelers since a game back in 1986. And let's take a look at the Droid Razor play presented by Motorola. There is Huber, the punter. The last man with a chance to stop or slow down Antonio Brown. That's not happening. He takes it 60 yards for the touchdown. It's been special teams. Been penalties against the Bengals. Well, you go back to the start of this game, it looked like, Phil, Cincinnati had a chance to put points on the board first, had a touchdown taken away because of the flag, and then a field goal also negated because of the flag, and then it's been all Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Bengals created energy for themselves early in the game, couldn't take advantage of it. And you know what we're kind of seeing, Jim? The Steelers, when they don't have that energy, they still find a way to win, like they did Monday night. The Bengals, they're not there yet. They're not proven winners. This team is still in that stage, learning to win tough games.
You wonder, they had that blocked field goal after the touchdown was taken off the board. And then the special teams by the Steelers, forcing a fumble on a kick return, led to a touchdown. Brown running one back before the half. The punt return been quite an all-around performance as Sweezum forces the touchback and out to the 20. Here's your first half summary, and the block field goal right there by Hayward. Mendenhall with a couple of touchdowns in that second quarter, giving him 4 on the year against the Bengals. Cincinnati actually had more total yards, as it turns out, but down 21.
And also Anthony Collins is still at right tackle.
Yep, and Worlds is still in for Lamar Woodley, who tweaked that sore hamstring in the first quarter, has not returned. And it's Benson with a flag down, gain of 2.
Offside, number 43, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Carl Cheppers and his crew calling that one, so it'll be a 1st and 5 coming up for Cincinnati. And you come back out if you're the opposing team, and you don't have to worry about crowd noise so much, because so many people at halftime taking a little break have not returned to their seats.
So you're telling them, like, hurry up and score?
Yeah,
something like that.
Something.
Yeah, do it while they can, because crowd noise was a problem, Jim, in the first half for the Bengals tackles especially.
And that's Benson scooting ahead for a first down. Gain of 6 for Cedric Benson.
Well, you're down 28-7. And, you know, it's easy for me to say, but of course the Bengals are not going to panic, and you still go with the offensive game plan that you had coming in here. And Marvin Lewis said, let's settle down. Let's. Of course, getting points in his first drive would be big for this Bengals offense for their team. But the main thing is just get the game back on track. Get some first downs, change field position, if nothing else.
They run it again. And Benson hit low and held to 3. Quick hands by the Steelers in that first half, making a difference.
Well, there you go. The block. Hayward, that was nice. How about this? Hit the football. Hit their special teams, full speed. Stevenson, Sylvester, how about that? That's going to knock it out of anybody's hands.
That was a big play. Again, led to a touchdown pass from Roethlisberger to Wallace. And 2nd down and 7, and Dalton this time looks to throw and able to escape. Throw it away as Hampton almost got to the quarterback. Koshart was the target.
Yeah, pressure up the middle, the worst for a quarterback. And they do it again. They're blowing some blocking assignments up in front. That time, did you see Kyle Cook? He's looking at everybody going, well, I thought somebody was going to be blocking Casey Hampton. Where the pressure comes right up from inside, almost impossible for the quarterback to look down the field and still get that completion.
3rd and 7 on this opening drive of the second half. Pass incomplete and almost intercepted. Ryan Clark trying to get it off the rebound from Gresham.
Yeah, they had it. That time Andy Dalton just, the pocket, it was good protection, but he was just a little antsy, and that made him throw it a little too high, and really kind of fortunate. A.J. Green going across the field, incidental tripping. So good no call by the officials there.
So we're going to get to see another return from Antonio Brown. No fair catch. Backpedals to the 16. Got a flag. Got a flag as he returns it only to the 24. It's a 50-yard punt brought down by the snapper, Clark Harris.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 26, return team. 10-yard penalty will be measured half the distance to the goal. Timeout.
Bengals faithful are saying, why didn't they call that the last time? 3rd quarter, 28-7 Steelers. We're looking at Nate Clemens, who's out with a hamstring injury. He's made big plays for this Bengals team, brought a lot of veteran leadership. Signed as a free agent. And they're missing him today. As Mendenhall. Now Aluga holds on. It's a gain of about 4. Antonio Brown trots back onto the field. Before the game, by the way, Antonio Brown Jr. was showing us his dad's touchdown dance. Didn't know if we'd see it or not, but we did.
Got his dad's gloves on, too.
Antonio's father was a star player in the Arena League, a receiver by the name of Eddie Brown. Not the Eddie Brown who played for the Bengals and had such success years ago. Second down and 6. Roethlisberger's pass is knocked down by Thomas Howard.
Ramon Foster down on the ground.
And that'll bring a little attention in from the sideline. It was a dangerous moment there as Howard knocks it down.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Garmin. Give a Garmin GPS this holiday season. And by Acura. Acura. Advance.
And we're back with Foster on the sideline. Looked like it might have been a left ankle. Trey Essex has come in for him for this third down situation. 3rd and 6.
Hey, 53.
And Roethlisberger spins away from the sack and goes long for Ward, and it's incomplete. Again, somehow Ben avoids the sack.
Well, first off, really good job by the Bengals defensive line. Stay in front of the quarterback, and that allows them there. Nice job. Legursky staying with it gives him that extra time. What's amazing, though, Jim, how fast he can scramble around there and locate guys down the field. Now, I know he has a lot of practice at it, but that's still hard to find that receiver running full speed across the field.
Capano's punch from the goal line. Beautiful. To Tate, who had a punt return touchdown against Seattle this year. He fumbled earlier in this game on a punt or a kick return.
Tate on the return.
And he's got it to about the 40. Tackled by Cortez Allen after a 57-yard punt. On that Cincinnati bench, Mike Zimmer, defensive coordinator, looking at some formations on that last series where his defense forced a 3-and-out, and now can the Bengals take advantage of the field position? They have been a magnificent comeback team all year. They're down 21 in this one, and their quarterback's going down at the 31 as James Harrison gets to Dalton and a loss of 8.
Well, you said it earlier, Jim. James Harrison almost back to full force on the outside. Being healthy, nice little move inside, and just the angle. He's so strong, and of course, we know he's fast. And you knew he's back. What did he say this week? He's talking about lifting weights. He goes, when I was hurt, I could only squat 315 pounds.
Now he's almost up to 600 again.
Yeah, now I'm back to 600, so you know I'm getting back to where I want to be. Says a lot about him. Tremendous worker. Shows on the field.
And a little tight end screen to Gresham. Get the chunk of it back out to the 40. Harrison has 2 sacks in this game, and we have to go to New York for the update. James Brown's there.
Simply put, Tim Tebow.
How about Tim Tebow, JB, right here? He's going to find his favorite receiver over the top, touchdown. That's Demaryius Thomas. 15-14, Minnesota over Denver, as Denver's keeping it close.
Tebow, 6 of 9, 67 yards and a touch. Jim Nance fills in.
And of course, Cincinnati had the second wild card position coming into the week with those other teams in the hunt, like Denver, like Tennessee, like the Jets. Here's the 3rd down for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton going to try to run for it, but Polamalu is there to cut off the angle about 3 yards short of a first. Now with 10:21 to go in the 3rd, they're going to go ahead and punt it.
Well, again, pressure. The Steelers, they've got the They got the feel now for this Cincy offense. They're putting the pressure on, rushing him up the middle, making him go outside, and once they got him on the run, hard to square up and find those receivers to throw to.
4th and 4. We'll bring back Hubert. And a fair catch by Brown at the 7.
Fair catch. Called by
10
Brown.
minutes to go in the third. That was a 48-yard punt. 28-7 Steelers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Philips Norelco Senso Touch 3D. A great shave, dry or wet, with gel or foam. And by the Droid Razor. Thin is no longer frail, only at Verizon.
First and 10, Steeler ball.
Not a lot happening so far in this third quarter. We've had 3 drives, only 1 first down produced. And the Steelers begin this series at the 7. Nice cut, Mendenhall. And he somersaults out past the 20. He got away from Thomas Howard there.
Yeah, you're right, Jim. And the one thing you got to be careful of when they got this 3 tight end offense in there is the cutbacks and getting outside. You think, oh, they got all these big guys that are going to run on the inside, but where they really get their plays and cause headaches for your defense is going outside the tight end.
$13 yards. On the run by Mendenhall. Gets another, no, it's Redmond this time for 5. And Redmond ran hard in that first quarter. Introducing NFL Magazine, the new official monthly magazine of the National Football League. Subscribe today at NFL.com/magazine.
I think you said it right.
As you see Foster heading in. Got that left ankle taped. Again, Essex has taken his place in the lineup. 2nd and 5. Up top, and Miller has the first down at the 32. Another 7 for the Steelers and a first down. Isaac Redmond picked up the blitz.
Well, Isaac Redmond, good job, but Heath Miller just so good, sneaks across the field. And you know, we talked about, watch Isaac Redmond run fake. There's the blitz by Maluga, just takes him right down. But Heath Miller just does it all. Every time we do a Steelers game, the opposing defensive coordinator talks about him, just goes, gosh, you know, he's not that fast, but he gets open, makes those catches across the middle.
2 catches for the game. Roethlisberger's over 100 passing as Mendenhall trudges ahead for another 4, maybe 5.
For the Steelers, this is a statement by the Steelers so far in this game today. These runs, I mean, it's about pride. We're tougher than you. And we talked about it, Jim. You know what was said by Mike Tomlin of this offense, along with Bruce Arians all week. And they're showing some toughness.
Cat. Right, Gino. Black 20. Black 20.
2nd and 5, and the quick throw gives Wallace a second grab of the game. Right in front of Kelly Jennings.
Well, it's a run to the left, but Ben Roethlisberger, he must like it. He knows that the receiver up top, Mike Wallace, is going to get inside, so he fakes the run and throws the pass. Now look at that. That just shows you, you know it's a run now. David Johnson, the tight end, almost runs into Roethlisberger as he's trying to make that throw. This is tough for this defense of the Bengals. Nate Clemens, their best corner, out today.
And that's Redmond. Gets away from the pile. Redmond's taken off. Redmond inside the 40, and Redmond runs it down to the 28. He was stacked up and refused to give up. Takes it for 27.
I think you were saying it right. Redmond's running so hard and so well. He'll keep Rashard Mendenhall on his toes. There's no doubt about it. When he gets his carries, he's making them count. So hard, so physical when he runs it. Really doesn't work on trying to have people miss him. He's thinking about getting an extra yard, running into you, or running over you.
And they've got the football now at the 29. Steelers very methodical.
Block it up.
Quick throw for another first. Hines Ward to the 18. A gain of 11.
When there's a blitz, a lot of pass routes. Watch Hines Ward, 86, top of your screen. He sees the blitz. He's looking for the quick pass. So that's built in case they blitz, look quick, and if they don't, then run on down the field and run your route.
3 catches on the game for Hines. Most of any Steeler in this game. His drive began back at the 7-yard line. And Redmond trying to get to his feet. Will lose 2. To that last pass play to Hines Ward.
Yeah, he's...
What's the explanation here to the sideline?
Basically, it's his way of like, let's calm down over there. That's what I take out of that. So, I don't know what it could have been. The play call, maybe something that was said to him before the play was, while they were sending it in. Yep. Whatever they're doing it right.
2nd and 12, and Moore has come in. Weldy Moore, the fake to him. And second option is over to Ward again. And Hines is driven out by several Bengals, and that'll merit a whole onslaught of flags. Pecco and Nelson pushed him out of bounds and beyond.
Personal foul, face mask, number 20. Half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
So it's a face mask call, and the Steelers, this drive, a beauty. From their own 7.
Well, the initial play, throw it to Hines Ward. He's covered. Roethlisberger looks down the field. That shows you what your eyes can do. It opens up Hines Ward. And there's the face mask at the end. And I've never seen a player enjoy getting a personal foul against him more than Hines Ward. He had a big smile, like, I did it again. You know, of course, Jim, we know he's physical, he's tough, and everybody on defense always wants a piece of it.
1st and goal to go. 6 minutes on the drive. And that is Mendenhall to the 4 with a flag.
Flag on the play.
Holding, number 79, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So Essex in for Foster, flag for this one.
79 right guard coming across. Oh, well, that's pretty tough against Frosty Rucker. Frosty Rucker did the right thing. You see that a lot. Defensive players, when they know they're going to get blocked, just get down low, create a big mess so everybody will fall over the top of you.
Inside of 4 minutes to go. And what has been a scoreless 3rd quarter. All the scoring came in the 2nd.
They blitzed this formation a couple weeks ago. 5 wide receivers. They do it again.
Wallace gets the block. Wallace slash middle. Wallace to the 5. And Wallace is in for the touchdown. What a move by Mike Wallace. 19 yards and not to be denied.
We are seeing the playmakers for the Steelers today. Here's the answer to the blitz. It's built in. So if they don't blitz, he throws to the left. If they blitz, I'll throw it to the right to the wide receiver screen. And what it does, it's down to one guy who can make the tackle. Well, maybe a little more when you cut inside, but how about that for Mike Wallace?
Pac-Man Jones was the last guy inside the 5. He was able to make the move past him and take it in for his 2nd touchdown today. Now we're seeing why when we talked to Roethlisberger this week. He said, I think this is the best offense I've ever been a part of. Talent-wise and potentially. And it's 35-7. Mike Wallace has a multi-touchdown game for the first time since a year ago, November, against New England. Both touchdowns coming in the red zone. And they've completed an 87-yard drive in the 2nd quarter and a 93-yarder here in quarter number 3. And another touchback. That 93-yard touchdown drive was the longest of the season by the Steelers.
Well, Jim, let's go back and look at that touchdown. Here's what happens. The Bengals are going to blitz. It's 5 wide receivers. The screen goes to the outside. How about Sanders on the block? So as you see, there he goes down the field, makes the block, and now you got one guy who can make the tackle really, Reggie Nelson. Tough to get him in the open field. How about the cutback and the speed? Excellent job, of course, you said it many times, by Mike Wallace. But that's how you take care of the blitz when you spread your offense out.
Out of the gun, look out, and they've got him again. And it's Harrison maybe sharing it with Kiesel. Harrison already had 2 sacks on the day, and Dalton's a little gimpy.
Yeah, he is. This is a race to the quarterback. Oh, my gosh, there's mistakes everywhere. There are 3 guys that could have got there and made the sack. Kiesel, the confusion by the offensive line. Bernard Scott misses his guy. And Andy Dalton, protect yourself. Boy. James Harrison's going to squat 700 pounds this week.
He does most of his heavy lifting on Monday, the day after the games. And nowhere to go for Bernard Scott.
You know, I said something, people, and I even bought in early in the year, Jim. I said, well, maybe James Harrison's the career, and maybe he's not the same guy. Well, he was a little beat up. Don't judge him. Judge these guys when they're healthy. He's healthy now, and he is absolutely terrific, and he was in Monday night, too, in Kansas City.
Had those back issues, broken eye socket in the game down in Houston. Former NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Looking like it today, that's for sure.
He has such leverage when he plays like nobody else.
3rd and 20. They have to go underneath with Leonard. And Polamalu is there holding on by the ankles. Taylor also collided with him. And it's a 3-and-out for Cincinnati.
You see some defenses where it's all about, it's all about one guy helping the defense get it done. When you look at the Steelers, there's 3 of the linebackers, of course, Troy Polamalu, Ryan Clark. They got a lot of guys who can make plays to win games.
As Huber sending another spiral to Brown. He's got that stutter step move again. He's going to reverse course. Gets away from Hawkins, but other Bengals there to meet him, including Lawson at the 31. 53-yard punt. You know, last week, the guest was Tom Brady. Had a mic'd up Harbaugh from Thanksgiving Day. That whole thing with the brothers going on. And who will catch the holiday spirit this week? Behind the scenes and ahead of the game. Inside the NFL, Wednesdays on Showtime. Who's winning the picks on the season, by the way?
No, we don't want to talk about that.
Oh, I see.
No,
that's all I needed to know.
Of course, as usual, I'm leading. But
you would think with Mike Lombardi giving you all of your information, you could be doing better than that.
I got enough trophies.
Oh, okay.
No, it's good. It's good. Look forward to doing the show.
Black 20. Black left.
First down. The wide receiver screen. The Ward. No gain.
I want to come back and be a professional quarterback again, and just send me in when you want the screens thrown.
Yeah, get these completions.
Man, I tell you. Hey, Phil, you're really accurate today. You know, you're 7 for 7. Yeah, I feel good.
Why didn't you guys do it back in your day?
You know, I don't know, because it was probably thinking too far outside that, that box we were locked into. Everybody played between the hashes a lot really during my career. But these receiver screens, I've said it many times, Jim, all it is a Green Bay sweep. Get them outside.
Black 20.
Get these receivers in space because they are so dynamic.
That's 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger off the hands of Miller and almost intercepted by Reggie Nelson. That ends a streak of 6 straight completions. Hey, Andy Dalton, we've been watching him on the far sideline, and he's limping around. He was definitely shaken up on that sack by Harrison.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it's not a good sign when the quarterback's pants are as dirty as his are. Yeah, you can tell he's got a little Little discomfort somewhere in his leg, hip, I'm not sure.
His backup, Gradkowski, not warming up. He's a Pittsburgh kid, by the way, Bruce Gradkowski. Blitz, third down, and Brown with a flag still makes the catch between two defenders, Antonio Brown. Ben was decked after he threw it for 22 yards.
Illegal hands to the face, number 68, defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, first down.
Fanene called for that.
Ben Roethlisberger gets hit, not too bad. He saw the blitz coming, so he braced the back foot, and this is really special stuff. Antonio Brown, outside technique, throw it inside. Fanene, oh yes, hits Saunders right in the face as he goes to rush the passer.
We're hearing Foster now, that ankle injury. He is not going to return. We saw him taken to the locker room. Final seconds of the third quarter. The quarter will come to a close with a 4-yard run by Mendenhall. Through three, 35-7 Pittsburgh. Back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Here in Pittsburgh, there was a second quarter explosion. Mendenhall cutting back for a second touchdown in that quarter. 4 touchdowns on the year against the Bengals. Roethlisberger, meanwhile, has found Wallace twice for touchdown throws. We start the fourth quarter here in Pittsburgh. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms at Heinz Field with a 2nd and 6 for the Steelers. Johnson, back up tight end, has a first down at the 34.
I'll tell you, this 3 tight end offense the Steelers have going, this is going to be some pain in the head for defenses, because what you do, you've got to bring in a defense to stop the run because they're so big. And then when he drops back to throw it, there's no pass rush.
He just moved past Terry Bradshaw with that completion for the most completions in Steelers history. Of course, last week he went over 3,000 yards for the 6th consecutive season. He's got more 3,000-yard seasons than all the rest of the Pittsburgh quarterbacks combined in the history. Yeah, 4-yard pickup that time by Mendenhall.
Yeah, Jim, let me just show you something here, about this defense. 3 tight ends are in. Here's Mike Wallace, top of the screen. They have to take 2 guys over here, so it just becomes a headache. Now you're 1 guy short trying to come up here and stop the run. Nice read by Mendenhall, breaks it outside, and you make the corner or safety make the tackle. So when you put Mike Wallace out there with these 3 tight ends, not a lot you can do on the defensive side.
Blue 30.
2nd and 6.
Load it. Blue 30.
And this time they get him behind a line of scrimmage. Set him back a couple. Here are the numbers now. Career completions, 2,026 completions. Of course, you had made the point earlier in the third quarter, you get more completions these days.
Well, you sure do. The league has changed, no doubt about it. Terry Bradshaw, I think in his whole career, I'm not even sure, he'd had like 1 300-yard passing game in his career.
Yep.
He won 4 Super Bowls. But yeah, it was a different game, so Ben Roethlisberger in any era would be a great quarterback.
3rd and 8. Steps up, fires it, incomplete. Looking for Sanders at the 15. And they're going to bring out Sweezum.
Tell you the other thing too, we talked about Roethlisberger thumb today. He's got a little brace on it so it can't be bent back. But if I was him, I'd never take those gloves off, because when he has them on, it is noticeable how much harder he throws the football.
Yeah, that one had a lot of zip on it.
And he can throw it farther, which he admits too.
This is a 50-yard field goal try. Longest by Sweezum on the season's 49. You don't see many made 50-yarders. And there's going to be a penalty against the Steelers as Johnson was late arriving on the field. kick was no good.
Illegal shift, offense. That penalty's declined. First down, Cincinnati. Timeout.
So the Bengals will take over at the 40, the point of the field goal attempt. We're back, and Andy Dalton is done for the day with this game at 35-7, and shaken up on that last sack, that last series by Harrison. Gronkowski's coming in for him. He saw some action first week of the season when Cincinnati beat Cleveland to open the year. And Benson gets called on and runs right into James Ferrier for no gain. You could see it right away that Gronkowski, well, let's go back to Dalton in that injury.
Yeah, I saw Andy Dalton on the sideline grabbing his right hip. And it did there, Jim. Oh, man, when you have two Steelers fall on top of you,
yep,
and he's laying on his right hip.
So the most sacks given up on Dalton since the first week. Nice little sidestep by Green, who then dives down at the 48. Picks up 8. Well, Bruce Gronkowski, he's traveled around the league a little bit. Was with the Raiders.
Third down and 2.
That's right, Tampa Bay started his career with. And of course, Jay Gruden knows him well. He was down at Tampa Bay with him. So it just made a smart move by the Bengals to bring him in with the rookie quarterback, Andy Dalton.
He once led the Raiders to a come-from-behind win right here a couple of years ago. And on third down, needing to keep churning it out, but will come up a yard shy. Gronkowski led the Raiders to that comeback win with a late touchdown throw to Lewis Murphy. So 4th and a yard to go.
Well, 35-7. I don't think there's any doubt they're going to try to get a little positive energy going for this football team. They'll go for it. Fumble to snap.
Yes, it did. They still, though, Gronkowski fought for it and got the first.
You know, he did a quick snap count, so he tried to get up there, catch them before they're ready, and it happens so many times to the quarterback. They move before the football gets up to their hands. No, he didn't move. He stayed in there pretty long. So what a pickup and good determination to get the first down.
That's only the second first down of the half for the Bengals, as Antonio Brown does it all. He's even out there.
He's an official too,
trying to officiate a little bit. Gronkowski's throw, and it's incomplete, as big collision there with Taylor and Ferrier in on Green. What about Cincinnati? About to fall to 7-5. Will host Houston next, and then at St. Louis. Home game against Arizona. Home game against Baltimore.
Well, there's really no way to look at it. I'll just say this. You look at the schedule, just there's 4 games after this one. They'll all be tough. I think we've learned that through the years. Teams that have nothing to play for, playing for their careers.
And they got a lot still to play for. Big time. As Gronkowski's intercepted. Intercepted by Ike Taylor. 2 straight weeks. Taylor comes back with an interception. Did not have his burst of the year until last week against the Chiefs. And he takes away this pass that was intended for Green.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today.
And a new quarterback in for the Steelers as Ike Taylor comes up with the interception. There's Charlie Batch. We'll take it the rest of the way. The final 10 minutes and change. As Mendenhall Gives back 2 more. Well, how about Roethlisberger's day? He didn't really have to live by the pass, but when he did throw it, he was effective for sure. The 2 touchdown throws, no picks. It's interesting talking to him this week. He says, we're hunting. And that's not something you always hear with them. Of course, Baltimore's already swept them on the season.
Everything, of course, is still in play for the Steelers. Jim, we've been here. You see him at home. He talks about it, how much better their offense is here at Heinz Field. The crowd noise, the grass.
Second down and 12. And Mendenhall, nothing doing this time. By the way, doubleheader day coming your way next week. New England at Washington for many of you. And late, almost the entire country will see Oakland at Green Bay. We'll be at Lambeau Field for the Raiders and the Packers. All getting started with the NFL Today presented by Southwest Airlines next week. And we have already, if you will, advanced some teams in the brackets, if you will, or given them a win anyway.
Pittsburgh.
Even Pittsburgh and New England wins already. And Oakland a loss. And Cincinnati, we've dropped them down to 7-5. So wild chase coming up this month. Flag down his back. Throws a tight one to Brown, who was walloped by Reggie Nelson. Brown is in some serious pain.
Number 91, defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Reggie Nelson, that's looked like a clean hit too, Jim. With the shoulder, didn't lead with the helmet, the crown of the helmet, and there's a good view of it. Oh, it's just about, that's how you want them to hit them nowadays. That's as good as you can do. Good job by Reggie Nelson.
Roethlisberger comes over to help Brown to his feet. Took a shot to the ribcage area. Meanwhile, that penalty was on the Bengals. Still 3rd down, 3rd and 7. 94 penalty yards for the day against Cincinnati. 45 of them coming on one pass interference call to set up a touchdown in the 2nd quarter. A blitz, and Batch rolls out and is sacked. There's Nelson again on that play. And Howard as well contributing.
By Howard and Nelson.
And Charlie Batts in a tough situation there. You know, you come in a game like this, you know on 3rd down, they're going to blitz you. So first off, you did the right thing. Protect the football. Be very careful in your decisions.
Talk about Gradkowski of Pittsburgh. Raised kid. Chris Batch as well from Homestead. And a long-time loyal backup here as Tate decides to run it from the 4.
Tate on the return.
And again, it's Brown with a special teams tackle after a 58-yard punt. Final 8 minutes coming up from Heinz Field. Coming up, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, Coach Cowher. The complete wrap-up of the 1 o'clock games coming up on the Subway postgame show. So Gradkowski under center. Gives it to Scott. And Bernard Scott, kickoff return for a touchdown in the game here 2 years ago in his rookie year. The game that the Bengals won. He's got 5 with that carry. We looked at the AFC playoff picture. What's going on the NFC side?
Well, I think, you know, Jim, as you look at it, the Chicago Bears, that would worry me about. Can they withstand the loss of their quarterback? And all these teams trying to get in it today, you look at about 6 teams. They need to win, or of course, they all want to. They're losing.
And Taylor eventually is able to wrestle down A.J. Green for a gain of 6 and a first down.
You know, Jim, just to go back to it, you look at every team, never give up hope. Even now, if you have 7 losses, don't think it's over. There's going to the way it looks, if you made me guess, there's definitely going to be a 9-17 get into these playoffs. Maybe 2 of them.
Wow. Because Green Bay last year came in with the wild card side, won all those games on the road, won the title. And Scott picks up another 5. And Pittsburgh and Coach Cowher knew all about that too. Got hot as a wild card team, went on to win it. Beat Seattle for the Lombardi Trophy. As you see Scott here, getting a little more action.
Yeah, he's just a good changeup. He really is. I actually think when I look at Cincinnati's football team, I think I'd find more ways to get the football to him. So fast.
Another Abilene Christian product. He gets the call again, squeezes through a tiny opening, and Scott into the secondary before Taylor catches up to him. 19 on that one.
Yeah, kind of like what the Bengals are doing. You know, the game is over, so let's just run the football. And a nice cutback. Stay with your blocks. Bobby Williams down the field, the guard. Pretty good job, and a good job by Bernard Scott. Being patient, wait. Outruns Lawrence. One thing all the Abilene Christian guys have in common. What is that, Jim? They're all very fast.
Very fast. Whether it's Knox, Gates, we saw from Miami on Thanksgiving Day. He's going to be a good one. There's another yard picked up.
Of course, I look at their scores. You know, Lance Barrow, our producer from Abilene Christian.
Talk about speed.
Well, yeah, talk about speed. Yeah, at the dinner table.
Yeah.
But you know, you look at their scores and they'll win games like 57-52, and so these guys, they use that speed down there and it gets them in the NFL.
You know, in high school, I bet you didn't know this. He finished second in the state in the 200 in the private school category.
Lance Barrow?
Lance did.
Wow. I'm going to have to question on this.
Second down and 9. And Gradkowski with a flag down.
So what you're telling me, everybody fell down in that race, and one of them just happened to get up and beat him. Is that what happened?
The whole state, man. The whole state of Texas.
Holding, number 77, offense. 10-yard penalty, second down.
That's Whitworth, left tackle. I'll just say this about the Bengals. This is going to be so disappointing for them today, but you know what? It's one game. And I'll steal this line from Mike Tomlin. One game is not going to define your season. So there's still a lot to look forward to, and you got to go back and say it that way. Hey, finish. You're going to be 7-5 when the day's over. That puts you in great position to still get to the playoffs. Can you put it behind you and keep marching forward? When you hear that term mental toughness, that's what it really means. Can you just shake off the losses and bad play and come back and try to accomplish what you want the following week?
They've now been penalized for over 100 yards. Second down and 19. Gradkowski's pass in the dirt, with Lawrence Timmons influencing things in the quarterback space. Now the Steelers turn around and have another game here in just 4 days. They'll be hosting Cleveland on Thursday night before traveling west, back home for St. Louis, and then Cleveland again. So 4 games left, 2 of them against the Browns.
Yeah, what's pretty good for them is they get the game on Thursday night. It is at home. Then you get 10 days to get ready for the 49ers.
They need the Ravens to lose. They have identical records, but the Ravens have the head-to-head on the sweep. Third down, Gradkowski dumps it over to Leonard. And he scrambles near the 50. Good for only 3, and they'll be punting. We'll look forward to having Nate Clements back at Cincinnati, probably for the next one. By the way, Antonio Brown is back in. Remember, shaken up. There to field the punt with a fair catch at the 9. One thing about this game, this really takes Cincinnati pretty much out of the division title race.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Best Buy. Find the perfect gift online or in-store this holiday season at Best Buy. And by Subway Restaurants. Get your own Subway steak melt today.
And we're back in the final 4 minutes. Pittsburgh shellacking the Bengals in the second quarter, putting up 28 points. And that's Dwyer with the carry for no gain. That's the most points they scored in a quarter in any game since back in 1986.
Well, moments you don't get to enjoy a lot in the NFL. Dennis Dixon, Byron Leftwich, the other quarterbacks with the wide receivers. I mean, they are cutting it up. It's a good time. It's a very, when everybody always talks about the NFL, I said, man, 90% of the time it seems like things are going wrong. And so when the times are good and you win a game like this, enjoy it.
Second down and 10. Dwyer trying to spin out of the hold. Michael Johnson. Subway postgame show will be coming up here in just a few minutes. James Brown will take you around the league. Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher will take you through the highlights as well. All coming up on the Subway postgame show. Art Rooney and that family with their remarkable ability to always produce winning teams. Ambassador Dan Rooney also was called for this occasion.
Yeah, we saw him in the booth earlier today. If he's superstitious, that means he's going to have to come home for the next one.
That was only a couple days away.
Yeah, that's right.
He could stay for a few days before getting back to Dublin. Dwyer plows ahead. Dwyer is prevented at the last moment from getting the first down. Jeremy Miles ends that series at 3 and out. And everyone's going to be content to run that one down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go in Pittsburgh with the Steelers on their way to a 9-3 record. You're watching the NFL on CBS. There's Troy Polamalu, who has been questionable during the week. He made some plays in this game. Nice snap. Capitals able to take care of business, though. There is the flag. There was contact as Tate makes the fair catch at the 40.
Running into the kicker. Number 30, defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
So now the Steelers will be able to just run this out. Pierman was the one who ran into the punter. We go back to the start of the season. We were in Baltimore, and it was the same score as this, 35-7. The Ravens beat them, and you thought, well, what's going to go on with the Steelers team this year? 9-2 ever since.
Well, I think, Mike, you asked Mike Tomlin that question early this week, and he goes, hey, it's one game.
That's right.
I said it earlier. It doesn't define us, and, of course, they corrected the mistakes. They got into the flow of the season, and really today was one of the few times that this is what the Steelers organization hopes their team is. I mean, it's well-rounded, and what did I say to you earlier? They got a lot of stars. They got a lot of guys that can make plays on both sides to give them a chance to win.
And, of course, Baltimore, which they've got the same record coming into the week, although, again, the Ravens have swept them. Ravens will be playing Cleveland here in the 4 o'clock window on the road. So the Ravens, for the moment, are 1 win back. But who knows if Cleveland will be feisty today at Cleveland Brown Stadium.
Well, it was a complete victory by the Steelers, and of course, we said it earlier, the Cincinnati Bengals just have to go back and, hey, 7-5. Let's get that wild card. That's what you're fighting for.
Tough homecoming for Marvin Lewis. And sister Andrea here at the game today. She's an Allegheny County sheriff. These teams have met 84 times, including postseason games, and this ties the largest margin of victory by the Steelers ever in the series.
Mike Tomlin, his whole idea today is, and it doesn't mean this in a derogatory, let's throw some dirt on the Bengals. Let's get them out of the race that we're trying to accomplish, and that's what you do during the season. You go, let's beat this team, and then we got them out of the way, and let's move on to the next team.
Going to the break, and I was saying about how this doesn't officially eliminate Cincinnati from the division, but Now that you're two games down to the Steelers, plus the sweep.
The sweep, yes.
Plus you got Baltimore out there. Will be still very much a factor, though, in that wild card chase. So a little pressure put on the Ravens by the Pittsburgh victory. See what the Ravens can do this afternoon. Mike Tomlin and his crew put up a very convincing performance here today. 35-7 is the final. Coming up next, the Subway postgame show. For Phil Simms and all the crew, Jim Nantz saying so long from Pittsburgh. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, and we'll continue with James Brown and company from New York right after.